Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Vivian and welcome to Coffee with Viv. Cheers to a cup of tea today. I hope you have something to drink and I hope your week is going wonderful so far. Happy to be here with you. And our topic for today is, guess what? Drum roll please. 5 ways to never be disappointed. I wish I could say 5 ways to never be disappointed again, but I'm not able to say that because disappointment is part of the human race. And for that reason, we will be disappointed one way or the other. But there are a few ways we can navigate our way through so we are not disappointed frequently. One of the things that I learned is not to have expectations. When I say not to have expectations, it means that in everything that we do, our expectations are set low. Low so much so that when things do not go the way we want it, we don't get disappointed and anxiety sets in. When I say low, I don't mean thinking so low that you don't have any good thinkings for yourself, if that makes sense. Now, our first way not to be disappointed frequently is to set realistic expectations. What are realistic expectations? I'm going to use one way, and that is going for an interview for a job. I believe we've all interviewed for a job one way or the other. And for that reason, setting realistic goals or realistic expectations is going to make us a little bit much more not disappointed when it comes to these things. Because when we set realistic goals, we keep our goals attainable and we celebrate the small wins. So if you go back to one of my videos, I talked about celebrating the small wins and having gratitude. So gratitude, when we celebrate the small wins, so assuming you've been looking for a job for a long time, you've been applying, and every single one that you've applied to has said no to you, not even an interview. You get that automatic email coming in saying, unfortunately, the job has been taken. Now, if your goal was that job, company A that you applied to was definitely gonna take you, then you will be disappointed because they did not even let you have a foot in the door. Now, if you set realistic goals, then with that realistic goal, one of the things you could say to yourself is that all I want right now is to get my foot in the door. That is a realistic, attainable goal, I think, better than saying all I want is that job. Does that make sense? So setting realistic goals is our number one thing. How to communicate clearly. So when we're looking for a job, sometimes we look at things from, oh, I want a job that, assuming you want a job that would create a 6-figure job, but you did not set the goal of, okay, what am I going to do clearly to get to a 6-figure job? Am I going to look at, do I want a remote job? If I get a remote job, what is my salary that I'm targeting based off of my experience? These are clear communications you can set, and you can write down on a sheet of paper, writing those things down for yourself. So with that, you've set clear goals for yourself. And you're communicating clearly to yourself, because if you communicate clearly to yourself, you'll be able to communicate clearly to the next person that is listening to your needs. And those needs are highly likely to be achievable because your communication is clear and you set realistic goals. Back to the step 1. Now, step 3, focus on what you can control. Now, let go of what you can't change and take charge of what you can. So back to the same interview process. If you're going for an interview, the thing you can control is how well you're ready for the interview, how experienced and how you are communicating clearly to the person interviewing you, how you're dressed, how you're looking, and how you're portraying yourself. So the step is how you put your resume together to get your foot into the door, how you present yourself during the interview, and your knowledge. If you don't have much knowledge, steady. But that is controlling what you can. But what you cannot control is that employer employing you. So take charge of the things that you can do. Put your resume together well. Go and dress up well for the interview. Be ready. Study the company. Study the job description. Study beyond the job description. And be ready to answer questions that are not clearly going to be said in the job description, but it's going to come up during the interview. So that is step 3. Step 4 is to practice gratitude. So assuming this interview, you got your foot in the door, and then when you got your foot into the door, you got the opportunity to express yourself and express your interest in that company. Now, they may or may not give you the job. Assuming they do not give you the job, what I want you to do is appreciate the opportunity to have your foot in the door, because every interview you go opens your eyes and gives you much more knowledge to be able to be better at the other interviews. Maybe you prepared for A and then B came because the job description did not talk about B. Now you know that even though the job description talked about only A and B could both come during the interview. So this time around, you prepare for both. So practicing the gratitude of, at least I got my foot in the door. The next time, I might get a job. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying do not be disappointed, but I'm just saying that when you set realistic goals, your disappointment levels are always lower. Does that make sense? Learn from every experience. So we will learn from every experience. So what went wrong during the interview? What did you do wrong? Or what did you think was not going to appear during the interview and it did show up? Because it's just like an exam. You've prepared for Pythagoras theorem, and then you get then algorithm algebra 1 shows up, or something else shows up. You're like, dang, I did not prepare for that. But when we learn from the experience of the first one, then we'll be able to clearly be better at the next interview and then the next interview. And then hopefully that leads us into getting the job that we want. And so today, this is all I have for you. 5 ways to never be disappointed as much. I can't say again, but I can say as much. Love you. Thank you so much for coming on today, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Hope to see you soon again. Thank you. Bye.